This evening, a major new report out confirms all my reporting. Confirms that Mitch and Joe are the chief negotiators for your stimulus package. Confirms my reporting that they have a long-standing relationship that goes back decades and that they get things done. Confirms that they actually are very friendly with one another and have respect with one another. Confirms that they have had incredible deals that have done bipartisan agreements for a very long time, and confirms that Joe Biden once before, during a transition time into the White House, got stuff done with Mitch McConnell. There's a reason why you tuned into this channel. This is an incredible recording of being a Mitch. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Lalate, and hope you're great and safe on a great afternoon or evening wherever you are. As all the reporting that I've been detailing for you since Saturday, or actually I guess it would be Friday, has now come to fruition. A major new report out this evening confirms all the details that I've been telling you about negotiations, about relationships, and about deal provisions is hitting the fan. And you heard it here first because you tuned into LLA. So if you have not subscribed, you need to right now. I mean, what other reason to subscribe? So you hear the news 3 days ahead of time, not after the fact. And also like this video because, hey, we'll get you the information way at a time. In this video, I'll be going over the incredible news report that I obtained minutes ago that actually details where everything is and confirms all what I've been reporting for upwards of 48 hours. You heard it here first. No one, broadcast media, print media, channels, anywhere was reporting what I was reporting, and now it's starting to matriculate across the system, and they're now confirming all the details. So let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that no less than, 24 to 48 hours ago, I confirmed to you that I guess it was on Friday, I confirmed to you that Mitch McConnell's the lead negotiator now for the Republicans. Then yesterday, I confirmed to you that the lead negotiator for the Democrats is Joe Biden, not her. Yeah, whatever her name is. And then yesterday and throughout today, I said that, hey, Joe, actually it was yesterday and the day before, I confirmed that Joe and Mitch have a long-standing relationship. It goes back decades. When Joe was a senator, when Mitch was a senator, they did bipartisan agreements all the time, that they had respect for each other, professionalism, and did bipartisan deals in the Senate as both junior states senators decades ago, and that relationship continued as Joe Biden and Barack Obama dealt with a difficult issue. Their difficult issue was coming into the White House from a Republican White House before, where the banking industry was collapsing. It was on collapse. It's not where we are now, where we're dealing with a lot of different issues that are separate and apart. This was a very finite issue. The banking industry was collapsing. The entire economy was about to implode. So they had to do stuff immediately after election night. I've been telling you this for 3 days, that Joe Biden and Barack Obama was doing things right after election night. And that at that time, they reached out to Republicans to get things done after election night, far before they came in on January 25th or 24th or whatever day it is. And I said that work started the night after election night. And I said that the work between Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell has already started or is about to start. And Mitch will be starting tomorrow. Well, the major breaking news tonight is that that's all now confirmed. In a New York Times article, it now details that in July 2011, with the economy shaking, Treasury default only a few days away, that means that the federal government's about to default, and Congress flailing, which is what's going on now, Senator Mitch McConnell received a Saturday phone call, guess when I reported my story on Saturday, from a Joe Biden, then the vice president. Quote, I think it's time we talk, Mr. Biden told Mitch McConnell, who was then minority leader. That opening was recounted in Mitch McConnell's memoir, The Long Game. In his book, he detailed this. McConnell said that in 2016 that Joe Biden is singularly one of the best people in federal government to get things done by bipartisan relief. And that what Mitch respected about Joe Biden was his ability to do things professionally without disrespect and to find a commonality. Hello, that's what I've been saying for 48 hours. That you and I, the Purple Power, find commonality. That Joe Biden finds commonality. In a way, he's a version of Purple Power. He tries to find details that both sides would agree upon and get it done that way. This is the antithesis of whatever her name is. That said, for 6 months, don't come back to me unless you have exactly more money. And she actually said that in press releases. I told them not to come back to me unless you do what I tell you to do. That's not negotiations. That's not bipartisanship. That's her way or the highway, which is what I called it. And then Mark Meadows referred to it as well. And so this is what Mitch McConnell said about Joe Biden in 2016 during a tribute at the Senate. Joe Biden doesn't waste time telling me why I'm wrong. He gets down to brass tacks and he keeps it inside the stakes. There's a reason get Joe on the phone is shorthand for time to get serious in my office. It means that they get down to the numbers. Stop with the rhetoric. Children going hungry, crushing the virus, all those stories. Let's get down to the details. My memory is that they actually get along really well, says Robert Kumar, who is Deputy Chief of Staff to McConnell, who sat in on three different Biden negotiations between 2010 and 2013. He says to the New York Times this weekend, there's a lot of respect for one another. It helps that they speak the same language. They're senators. I've been telling you that this is categorically important. You know, in the weeks that were following, when we were talking about why stimulus did not come to you, I said there was a lot of reasons. There was a lot of reasons. One, Steve Mnuchin was an outsider. He was a guy from Wall Street, a rich guy who has a 3-story townhouse, a 3-story condo on Central Park South. He's trying to sell for, I think it was $35 million down for $75 million. He's an outsider, never worked in Washington, doesn't know anyone, and didn't really try to meet anyone. He just sort of was dispatched to talk to this one person, and that was her. And that was it. And then when we talked with them, he wouldn't brief anyone. And then there was her. She just simply said, my way or the highway. And everyone said, you can't do that. This is not Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the president. He's the number one guy in town. He is the president-elect. He is the number one Democrat. Mitch is the number one Republican. And so this is why things are so incredible. Now, I leave things for later for the video because you have to stay tuned for all the surprises. The New York Times cites a little bit of a concern, however. They say that Joe Biden has not been in the Senate and has not been in Washington for, what has it been, 4 years? So things, well, at least in Washington. So things have slightly changed in the last 4 years, and they have begun sort of bitter, not between Joe and Mitch, but just sort of the way partisan battlings go. And so much has changed in the Senate in 4 years since Biden left public life, reports the New York Times. It's by Sunday afternoon, 24 hours after Mr. Biden has been gave a speech, Ms. McConnell has yet to issue a statement congratulating Joe Biden. This is a little bit interesting. Now, what's important to understand is that their ties go beyond just politics. Mitch McConnell was at the funeral of Beau Biden in 2015, Joe Biden's late son. Biden, in turn, spoke at McConnell's Government Affairs Center opening in Louisiana. But what's important is that Joe Biden is very aware that Mitch McConnell is an obstructionist who blocked most of the priorities of the Biden-Obama administration and used his position to block a whole range of judicial nominees. Senator Chris Coons, Democrat of Delaware, who, of course, knows Joe Biden very, very well, but he also knows at certain moments when you have to try. So what's important to understand is that I'm not saying that the two are rosy-posy. That's certainly not the case. I do want to say that they absolutely have respect for each other. They've known each other for decades. They know absolutely everything that they need to know about the other side. They know what needs to be done to get bipartisan relief from the other side. So it's not like they're deers in headlights, like, oh, I got to deal with that guy. I've never dealt with him before. How do I deal with him? No, they know how to get things through with that other person on the phone, which is absolutely categorically incredible. This is why, in times of emergency need, that you really need an insider. And ironically, the person who singularly is the most insider to Mitch McConnell that you could have is Joe Biden. And so this is incredible, great news. And so what you're seeing happening tomorrow is that task force being deployed by Joe Biden to crush the virus. I can't stand that expression. I don't know about you. I just think it's so comical every time I hear it, crush the virus, as though it's something you can like, yeah, it's just like, I see this visual, like that Mucinex cartoon character, he gets crushed. I was like, crush the virus. It's just like, did you tell that kid to kids in the school, crush? I don't know. Maybe slap the virus or smash the virus, but he has a task force tomorrow, Joe. And and then he's also going to make an announcement tomorrow about the stimulus relief as well. So you see how he's moving very, very quickly. And Mitch, on the other hand, is going to be starting the Senate session tomorrow. First item of business is stimulus. So there's no playing games here. What's important to understand between you and I, because we keep it real, I mean, we keep it very real here, is that you understand that deal provisions are what's so important. How much is the stimulus check? When is the stimulus check going to get sent out? Is this the only stimulus check? Is it, how big is it? What period does the stimulus package cover? Is this just from here to December? How about FPUC? How retroactive is it? How about PUA? When is it going to be continued to? And FPUC, and how about rent? When are you going to continue rent to? And what are the numbers for hazard pay? And what are the numbers for EIDL grant? And how about that outstanding $10,000 from the EIDL grant that you haven't been paid? And how about EIDL loan? You and I deal with numbers, and ultimately Joe and Mitch have dealt with numbers, but it's been an aura of the last 5 months in which we've dealt with a lot of hot air. And Mitch is not excluded among that. Mitch would issue press releases in advance of announcing bills, and the press releases would never really tell us what's coming. And then it would come, and then it would be gone, and then it would come, and then it would be gone, and then 3 times. And so we, the American people, need to stay on top of this, because ultimately what's important to understand is that we need clarity and definition. We don't need vague words. I think at this point, after being with me for a while on this channel, you understand the importance of hearing numbers, hearing deal provisions, hearing coverage times, March, April, June, or July, and this stuff that I'm going to put things back. I'm going to get us on track. Okay, that's really nice. Now you're getting down to business. What are the deal items? How much is the stimulus check? When is it going to come? How much is the FPUC? And what you need to do, Purple Power, is be on social media and just really hit it hard. Joe Biden has a new transition team Twitter account. Senator Harris, presumably has or VP-elect Harris has a new account coming as well. So please be on top of everything. Let me answer some incredible questions and comments from yesterday's recording. Samantha, the Temple of Doom comes knocking. She's going to be involved. I mean, she's not going to be out of the picture, but she's not going to be the lead negotiator. Tina, can't answer your fire. Well, she still has a job in the House, just the House of Doom. Rosalind, interesting, since he hasn't been legally named president. Oh, stop that. That's another channel. You want to go do that fake narrative, do that somewhere else. Jerry Brands, do we have to wait until Biden is sworn in? No. I've explained that in 3 videos today and explained it on the one before. Tina, we really need a lot to do for us for 7 months. Amen, Tina. Hot, tired. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Stephen Buckner, you should all shower Mitch with purple praise and purple tweets to light the fire underneath him for this biggest stimulus package ever. Yes. As you saw in the comment from Mitch in his memoir, he likes people who says, let's get down to basics and let's get down to business and stop telling me how bad I am. No one likes to be insulted during negotiations. That's not how you negotiate. Paul, why does he keep on saying coming really soon? Lisa, hello LA, the Purple Power family. Hello, Lisa. Jacqueline Bishop, good evening, Purple Power. Liza or Lisa. Good evening, Purple Power and LA from Northern Maine. Positive thoughts to everyone. Well, that's wonderful. Love Northern Maine. If you have questions, comments in today's video, drop them in the comments below and I might feature them in tomorrow's recording. Coming up next is Street and Stimulus. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay LA for more.